Hello class, receiving students and teachers.
Hello, Mr. Malawi.
Thank you, you may sit down. Let's look at our last lesson. Our last lesson we made a simple machine, which you will look at later. We used a ruler and a book. So what kind of machine did we make? We made a... Let's have a look at the diagram, which is on the board. If you look at the diagram, this is how you placed your ruler on a book. So when you place the ruler on a book, you made yourself what we call an inclined plane. This simple machine that you used, by placing the marble and allowing it to roll down the ruler on the groove, you found something, or you found out yourself in your last lesson. What was it that you found out about the distance? Okay, one hand up. We'll have Samuel.
Distance.
What about the distance? Thank you, Samuel. Yes, we found, or we tried to find the distance. We'll have Francis to help Samuel to add on to his answer.
We found speed. Speed.
Very good. Speed. We also found out about speed. What was it about speed and the distance, or the inclined plane that you made? Any others? Okay, Samuel. Right, we'll come back to Samuel. Samuel has his idea again.
The thickness of the book.
The thickness of the book also helped. Cullen. Okay, we'll have Cullen.
We measured the distances.
Right, you measure the distance. We'll have the last one. Hey, only boys. Okay, we'll have one girl, Maria.
Using inclined plane to increase distance.
Thank you. Using inclined plane to increase distance. Right, thank you for all those who gave the answers. Let's have a look at the diagram again. Right, you made this. Now, Francis mentioned about speed. So at first you used only one book when you build up your inclined plane. But the distance traveled by the marble was shorter. Then you added some of books. Some of you did add some of books. You increase. What did you increase? You add another book. You're right, going up. So what did you increase? Of course, the thickness. To thickness, you increase the height. So you increase the height. So when you increase the height, you increase what? The speed. Automatically, the height, as you go higher, the speed increases. So when you let go of the marble, it traveled a longer distance than the first one when you used only one book. So that is what you did in your last lesson. Okay. Any question? No questions? Receiving teachers and students, this is a new strand. Our new strand is living things. Substrand, nature of living things. Our outcome is 7.2.1. identifying and comparing the basic structure of living things and how they allow them to function in the environment. Our lesson topic for today is keeping in touch 1. Alright, before we go into our lesson, let's warm up. All raise your hands in the air. Just your hands. Okay. You may do the same too. Raise your hands. Close your fingers. Fingers. Now, we'll play a small game, a very short game. Hands down. Place them on your tables. Place your hands on your tables. Flat. Open. You will use your pointer. The game is body parts. It's like Simon Says, but this time we don't have Simon Says. There is only one rule. The rule is follow my words. I'll repeat the rule again. Follow my words, not my actions. So your eyes in front, watching me, and you follow my words. Let's start. Point to your eyes. Point to your nose. Your hair. Your ears. Your nose. Your mouth. Your nose. Some people got it wrong. The instruction is follow my words, not my action. Okay, let's try it again. This time we'll go a bit faster. Point to your nose. Your eyes. Ears. Mouth. Eyes. Nose. Tongue. Mouth. Teeth. Nose. Ears. Ears, ears, nose, nose. Okay, good. All right, then we'll stop there. And you may enjoy the game after it reaches time. But let's move to our activity. Our activity for today is senses and receptors. Now we are going to be doing the following activities. So you asked to bring sugar, some toothpicks. If you do not have toothpicks, clean or new broomsticks to use, a cup of water, which I will provide, and something to cover your table so you don't spill or pour water onto your table. Right. If you have your books there, you may put your books aside. Give space for you to do the activity. So place your objects in front. Each group will have 2 cups each. Right. You should have 2 cups. 1 cup filled with water. If you have your sugar in a container, which is very good, that is okay. If you don't have it in a container, at least you covered it, it's also okay. You should have the cup with water, clean toothpick, and a rack beside you to do that. Now, before we go through, refer to your workbook, the instructions. Let's have a look at the instruction. We'll go through together the instruction. You will follow instruction number 1 to 4. We'll do 1 to 4. Okay. Let's see instruction number 1 to 4. What does number 1 Read. Let's read instruction number 1.
Dip the boiled coconut stick into the water.
Right. Instruction number 2.
Pick up bits of sugar, put salt in the preserving dish, using the red point of the toothpick.
Right. That's instruction number 2. Instruction number 3.
Put the bits of the sugar on your partner's arm. Place 1. And then move it to place 2.
Okay. On point 1, you place it on point 1, then you move it to point 2. Instruction number 4, the last instruction for this activity. Together read instruction number 4.
Discuss which point in particular sweetness is place 1 on page 3 and then add.
All right. Those are the instructions. Now you will, when you are conducting your little activity, you refer to the rules so you don't miss one part of the experiment. Okay, I'll give you about 5 minutes to do that. And you will have 2 minutes to discuss and write down your answers. After that 7 minutes, total of 7 minutes, we will have groups to tell us their findings. Okay, make sure you're using a clean toothpick or a clean broomstick. Any questions before we continue? If you are not sure. Okay, we shall start. But if you are not sure, please raise your hands. Right, let's go back to, our first instruction and begin. Be careful not to spill any water. All right, first instruction. We start. Yes. One for each group. The toothpick. One for each group. Yes. No. Yes. When you finish, you discuss and write your answer down. We have come. afraid of cooking. Get some of those old papers there. Old papers there. Get the old papers. Old newspapers. Stand. Leave your books in the side. You only have one book to follow the instructions. A lot of books will cover your space. Cup for your sugar. No, cup for your sugar. You have sugar. Have you tried? Who's done it? Already? Okay. You can try. Somebody else want to try. Cut it off and then do a new one. Did you wash it? Reminder, do not use the same toothpick for another person. If you use it on somebody else use it, you don't use it again on somebody. You wash it and cut it off and use a clean tip again. Otherwise, don't use it. Some are already on instruction number 4. portions. Which one did you taste? Portion 1 or the portion 2? Portion 2. Okay, good. This is for your next activity, so don't wait it. For your next activity. This is for your next activity. Okay, I'll stop you in a minute time. For your next activity. The next activity. Next activity. All right. Clement's group on the far end to give us what they have found out. Clement, your group, your member in the corner there, will give us our answer for what they have found out in their group. Then we'll have this group here.
If the saliva is there now,
Answer. Clement, your group member, we are waiting. Then we'll have this group. Michael will present, good. And Goodwin will give the answer for this group. Okay, let's go. One member from your group. Oh, they're still discussing the answer. We'll have Michael to present their group's findings. Then we'll go back to Clement's group. Okay, Clement's group.
Our group find out about the
Michael. Michael's group, what did you find out? Position 1 or position 2 did you taste? Did you taste when you put the sugar?
we found out that position 1 is sweeter than position 2 is sweeter than position 1.
Position 2 is sweeter than position 2. Position 1. We'll have Goodwill. Thank you, Michael. And your group?
We find that position 1 is sweet and 2 is not sweeter than position 1.
Okay, thank you. We'll have another two groups. JJ? Then we'll have, okay, Conti will give for
Position 1 is sweeter than position 2.
Position 1 is sweeter than position 2. Thank you. Let's have the next group.
Position 1 is sweeter than position 2.
All right, everybody is saying position 1. So position 1 is sweeter, or you tasted sweetness. You tasted what? The sweetness on position 1, which is at the back of your tongue. The back of your tongue. So when we taste sweet things, we taste it at the back of our tongue, which is position 1. There are other tastes like sour, salty, which have different, which are tasted on our tongue at different positions. But we will look at that later. So, position 1 is where we taste sweetness. So anything sweet, we taste it at the back of our tongue. Our next activity, you have one chart with you, which you will do in your groups. With that chart, let's read the last instruction in your notebook. All right. Discuss how you can keep in touch with the environment using your senses. How many senses do we have?
5.
We have 5 senses. Now, we have 5 senses. How do we keep in touch with our environment? Do we keep in touch with our environment every day? Yes? No? Yes? We do keep in touch with our environment every day. So our senses are working every day. Example. Anyone would like to give us an example? How do you use one of your senses to keep in touch? Or how do you use one of your senses? Isaac. Thank you, Isaac. Name the senses. Name the sense that you use and how you keep in touch with the environment.
By looking after it. By looking after it.
By looking after what? What do we look after?
The environment.
The environment. Okay, yes, we look after the environment with our 5 senses. Yeah? Good, yes, we look after the environment, but there are 5 senses we use, which is our sight, hearing, smelling, tasting, and feel or touch. Example. Okay. Shannon will give us one, then
feeling the heat of the sun.
very good. Feeling the heat of the sun. Is the sun part of our environment? Of course. So, how do we sense the heat of the sun? How do we sense the heat of the sun, Shannon?
Feeling.
We feel. Where do we feel the heat of the sun? Which spot? Which position?
Skin.
Our skin? Or all our body? If we're out in the sun, we can feel it from our head, our shoulders. If we are wearing only a shirt, a short sleeve, then we can feel it on our arms. A short, then we feel it on our skin of our legs. So that is one example. Now you have 5 senses. You can give many on the chart. So that chart you will take with you as a group and give an example of how each sense you use, each of the senses that you use to keep in touch with the environment as a group. So you will do that as your homework, and we will look at it in our next lesson. Any question? Okay. Right. Our summary. We have only one summary point. Our senses keep us in tune with what is happening in the environment. Our next lesson, sorry, can someone give us the key phrase? Daisy, give us the key phrase for today.
Sensors and receptors.
Receptors. Thank you, Daisy. Sensors and receptors is our key phrase for today. Our next lesson topic is keeping in touch too. The materials which will be used in this lesson are hand lens, the thermometer, measuring cylinder, or a beakers. Receiving teachers and students, if you do not have these materials, you may observe the class in the next lesson. With that, thank you class, receiving teachers and students.